Thank you for coming and logging into this webinar. We will begin here shortly in a few minutes at 7 o'clock. We will be starting in about 5 minutes at 7 p.m. Thanks. Talk to you soon. Okay, we are going to go ahead and get started with the webinar tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that you're able to see that. And I did want to explain kind of how the webinar will work tonight. So we will be going through kind of some introduction here, an overview of Collegiate Link, and then we will, of HuskiesConnect, sorry. And then we will go ahead and kind of walk through some of the functionalities on the site itself, so that way you can kind of see. There is a chat function that we will be utilizing. So you can feel free to use that piece of it. And I will be able to respond to you in that chat function there. Utilizing. So you can go ahead and type any questions that you have throughout, and then I can come back and answer those either as we go throughout the webinar or maybe toward the end. So the one thing that I did want to kind of reiterate is that you will have to be logged into a Google account to use that chat function, but that is there as an option as well. So feel free to put any comments or questions that you have throughout the presentation, and then we'll kind of be visiting those and answering those as we go throughout. So I want to say thank you again for coming tonight and joining us for the HuskiesConnect online training. I'm really excited to be kind of showcasing this. It just came out the update kind of came out just a few weeks ago. So really excited to kind of be walking you through that today and kind of showing you some of the functionalities as well. So without further ado, my name is Sammy Bosacki. I am the Assistant Director for Greek Life and Student Organizations with the Department of Campus Involvement at St. Cloud State University. So I oversee our fraternities and sororities on campus and our student organizations. So you may have seen emails from me, kind of the course of your time and your leadership role. And I did put up my email and my phone number and contact information there. So if you do have any other questions, feel free to contact me at any point, and we can help you out. I will also kind of put in here that if, as we go through this presentation and you feel that you might be interested in having us come and present this information to maybe your other leaders of your organization or other your executive board, your officers, feel free to shoot us an email, and we would be more than happy to come in, talk you through that as an organization to kind of help you all within your group. So keep that in mind. So I did want to just kind of give an overview of how we'll be going throughout this presentation today. So I'll kind of be talking about what is HuskiesConnect, kind of a general, like, what is it, what does it do for us, and then as I mentioned, we'll be actually walking through the system online and kind of showing you the different functions, how that works, and how you can use that then for your organization. And then at the end, we will have some time for questions. So as I mentioned, to feel free to put those in the chat, because we will have time to go through that and answer anything that you might have as we're live. But of course, as I mentioned, you can email me at any time, or come stop by the Department of Campus Involvement. We can help you out. So since we do have some people joining us, I'd like to have people kind of put in the chat, maybe kind of get started here. So put in the chat what organization you're here representing, and if you hold a leadership role, you can put that as well. So maybe if you're watching as a president of an organization, you can just type in president and then what organization you are a part of. So if you want to put that in the chat now, I would love to see kind of who's joining us here tonight. And for maybe some of you who are kind of just joining us, we're just putting in the chat what organization you're representing, and if you're a leader within that organization, what leadership position you hold. So if you want to add that to the chat, then we can move on and kind of see who is joining us. So we will, as people are typing that in, we will go ahead and talk, like I said, a little bit more about what is HuskiesConnect. So you might previously, this system was called Collegiate Link. So for the past 5 years or so, we've been using Collegiate Link for our student org registration and event submission, and kind of a hub for student organizations. You know, that's where the registration was held, and all these kind of moving parts with that. But with the umbrella company that hosts Collegiate Link in the past, went through a whole update and upgrade for the system. And so it moved into this new platform with some upgraded features, and that is what is now HuskiesConnect. So we're really excited to kind of be showing you how that is going to work today. And you can kind of see there's a little snapshot of that here, but you will log in to the system using your star ID and password. And that way, you know, if you have never logged in before, it will just kind of prompt you to verify your first and last name and email, but you never have to create another profile for the system. It is all based on your star ID and password. And then I was just checking the chat really quickly. And so as I mentioned, Collegiate Link used to be for, you know, registration. You would do your online registration there. For student organizations, you would add events. It hosts our online organization list, and those are also functions of the system. It just kind of, like I said, kind of got a new look and feel. So I'm going to pull that here. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so you should be able to see now the website here. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. So this is what it will look like when you log in with your star ID and password. You will go to stcloudstate.campuslabs.com/engage. So this is the website that you will go to, and then you'll be able to see this once you log in. So this is kind of the home screen for your online system. Up here at the top, there's going to be different, they're called alerts. And so these are just kind of important messages or updates that will be important for you as, you know, as St. Cloud State students, as student organization leaders, kind of just different messages and things that will be helpful for you. I do want to point out, up here at the top is this search bar. So this is really handy when maybe you're, you know, looking for different things, or if you know, want to search something. If you type in it will pull up everything that's related to that keyword, or you know, anything that you're wanting to search, which is a really nice function. Because, you know, say, for example, you are looking for other involvement, or you want to reach out to different health organizations on campus, you can type in that keyword and it'll pull up anything that's related to that. So as you can see here, we have a few different organizations that are popping up, as well as some different articles that might be related to that topic. So this is just kind of a handy function, especially if you're, you know, not wanting to kind of scroll through every single organization that we have on campus. You can just kind of search in that bar. As you scroll down this page, you will be able to see all of the different organizations that you are connected with. So if you are listed as a leader or a member of an organization, they will appear right here on your home screen, so that way you have easy access to them. As you continue to scroll down, you'll see different events. So these are kind of upcoming events for you, for students, for faculty and staff, really anyone, but just kind of a way to kind of see what's coming up and what's happening. continue to scroll, you'll see different news articles. So we'll visit this a little bit more in detail, but here you'll be able to kind of see what's happening as well. And then, of course, different campus, oops, I did not mean to click on that. You'll see different campus links and helpful resources for you as student organizations. So first, I'm going to show you the events tab. So this tab is, so these four will show up no matter, what level you have within an organization. People that aren't even logged into the system can see these four tabs up here, which is really great. So if you click on events, you'll be able to see every event that is in here and the ones that are coming up. Of course, if there's something specific you're looking for, you can search by different phrases or keywords in here. You can also search by date. If you want to see kind of some things that are coming up this week or on a specific date, you can type that in here. You can search by theme. So all of these themes are connected to the Cork app. So that's C-O-R-Q. This app is on iPhone and Android mobile devices and is a really awesome feature that allows students to see different events that are happening as well as location, and you can RSVP directly from that app, and then you can add those events right to your calendar. So it's a really awesome resource and tool. I highly encourage you all to download that if you are interested. And then categories. So these are different categories related as well, which just gives you the ability to kind of filter out different events as well. And then, of course, perks. So let's reset these filters so you can see. If you click on free food, you'll be able to see all the events that are on here that have free food, and who doesn't love free food, right? So just something to keep in mind, and we'll show you how to create events in a little bit. But that's the events tab. Then moving on to the organizations tab, it works similarly. It has all of the search functionality. So if you're looking for something specific within an organization, or maybe organizations that are kind of based around a certain topic or a certain area, you can search that in here and it'll pull up everyone related to that area. You can also search here by categories as well. So if you're interested, in looking at what arts clubs we have, or clubs that are related to art, you can come here and see and visit within each of these organizations. So you can see all the different ones here. So if we click on one, we'll just do Apex for now. This is what the profile will look like for all of our organizations on campus. So as you can see here, it has the name of the organization, some photos here on the right, the ability to contact this organization, and then some information to find out a little bit more about them. And as you scroll down, you'll see some more information about them, who their officers are, and then of course, some information, some news articles that they might have posted. You also might notice that on a profile, there are these little icons. So you'll be able to add these to your organization as well, which gives you the ability to link and direct people to an external website if you have one, your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, Google Calendar, kind of all those different things. So that's the organization list. And I will come back to the news function in a second here. So we're going to go ahead and click on the Department of Campus Involvement's profile. So again, as you can see, kind of highlights some information about the department, has some photos here, and then any events that we're hosting by the organization. So when you are an administrator, or you hold a certain leadership role within your organization, you will have access to manage your organization and be able to edit the information. So that is going to be right over here with this Manage Organization button. If you click that button, it will take you to your Action Center, which is now known as your Action Center. So what you're going to be able to do here is kind of edit everything related to your organization. So you will click on these three little lines over here, and you'll be able to see all the different areas here. So the first thing that you'll probably want to do is click on the About section. And this will give you the ability to kind of edit that information, that general information about your organization. So if you wanted to edit maybe the profile photo or maybe some of the description, if some of your information has changed, this is a great place to go ahead and do that. And then, of course, you know, changing any of your contact information as needed. And then here's where you can add those pieces that I was talking to you about. So Facebook, Twitter, if you have, you know, a Google Plus page or Pinterest or any of those things that you would like to showcase, you can go ahead and change that in here. So it's a really good idea to keep this information updated because, you know, as students are looking to get, you know, as general students or uninvolved students on campus are looking to get involved, this is, you know, where they might go to look, and we want to make sure that they have access to the most updated information, and so that they can contact you if they're interested in being a member. So that's something to keep in mind. The next area that I want to show you all is the roster function. So this serves as a membership list for your organization. And there's some really cool functionality of this. And it might look, if you use the roster function from Collegiate Link, you might see that this is just a little bit different, but it's much easier to use than the previous system. So we're going to click here on Manage Positions. And this gives you the ability to kind of edit and personalize maybe your officers within your organization. So as you can see here, this is specific to our department, but we have created positions that align with the different staff members. So this is a really great opportunity that if you wanted to create specific positions, you know, maybe you have a social media chair or a secretary or a volunteer coordinator, you can go ahead and do that, and you have the ability to customize and edit any of those. I will say that it is a requirement to have a president, a vice president, and a treasurer for your organization. So you won't be able to necessarily edit those. You will have to have one of those three positions assigned to a student, but you can always give those different students additional leadership titles if maybe they hold more than one, or if maybe you have two presidents, you can assign two people to that role, and so on and so forth. So keeping that in mind. If you want to create a new position on your profile, you just click this blue button to add a position, and you can go ahead and put in the name and what kind of type, you know, what kind of position it might be, if it's a student officer or things like that. And then you can come here to give them different levels of access within your profile. So if they are just members, they won't have access to change anything, but they can, you know, still serve as a member within your organization. Or maybe you have, you know, your social media chair, and you want to make sure that they're able to access anything within the HuskiesConnect system. So you can give them all access, and they'll be able to edit any of that information, create events, upload documents, etc. But maybe you only want them to have access to certain things. So maybe you want the president to have all access, but maybe you only want, you know, the maybe you have a membership development officer, and maybe you only want them to have access to the roster function, so that way they can edit and add new members and whatnot. So that's just a cool function to kind of keep in mind, and maybe that would work then for your organization. So we're going to go back here to the Manage Positions, and if you click on one of the positions that you created, you can go in and edit this at any time. So as you can see here, you know, maybe you want to change the name, or maybe you want to change the access, you can do that at any time. So if we go back to the roster, you'll be able to come to this blue button that says Invite People. So this is where you can add members to your roster, or you know, invite people to be a part of your organization. So I want to type in my email address here, and then if you click email addresses and you scroll down, you'll see you'll be able to send this invitation. So say, for example, you want to add someone as the treasurer, you can send them an invitation to be the treasurer, and it will send them an email, and then they'll be able to accept that position directly from their email. So that's something cool to keep in mind, and is a great way to add people, especially, you know, after Main Street. If you collect a lot of different names, you want to add them in, you can go ahead and, as it says here, you can enter up to 500 email addresses all at once, and then you can just upload them and invite them to your organization. Of course, you know, I do want to, so if a student clicks the join button on the home page to your organization saying that they want to join your organization and be on your membership roster, that will show up under prospective. So there will be pending prospective members in here. So kind of keep an eye out on that to make sure that if someone's pending, you want to approve that or deny that person based on, you know, your criteria of membership, but you want to make sure that you're keeping check here, because otherwise then they just won't be receiving the information that you would like. And I do want to point out that there is a messaging function here, so you're able to message either your whole entire roster or maybe only select positions within your roster. But this is a really great tool and a way to email your members quickly and easily. So just something to keep in mind for the future as well. So next I want to show you the events section, which I think is one of the best features of HuskiesConnect. So when you come to your Manage Events section, you'll be able to click on this blue button to create an event. And it will take you through this super easy form that you'll fill out. So you'll just put in the event title. And here are those themes that I mentioned. So these are the different themes that are then connected on the mobile app as well. So kind of pick the one that best fits your organization. And then, of course, putting any of the information related to your event in this box here. So the more information, the better. That way, when people are looking to come to your event or, you know, come to your meeting or whatever it might be, they're able to get all the information in one place. You can, of course, edit any of the information, putting bullets and then linking as well. It won't automatically hyperlink a link that you put in here. You will have to click this insert a link. So just keep that in mind. And then, of course, selecting the date and the time of your event. And then if you click Add Location, you can add a specific address. So say, you know, maybe you're having it off campus, or maybe you're having it at a specific place on campus. You can put that address in and it will show a map right there on the event. Otherwise, you can click Not to Show a Map, and then you can just type in the name of the location that you're having your event at. So for example, if you know you're having it in the Atwood Ballroom, maybe it would be easier not to show a map and then just type in Atwood Ballroom. But completely up to you, just a really cool function as well. If you have multiple events that you're trying to upload, you can just add another date. That way you don't have to keep going back in to create that same event. You can just add multiple dates if that's something that you're looking to do. And as we go through, you'll be able to see that you can set the different privacy functions. So if you want to show it to anyone, that'll be open to the public. So no matter if they're logged in or not, people will be able to see those events. Or maybe it's specific and you have to be a St. Cloud State student, you can click this button. And then the person will have to be logged in to view that event. And then, of course, if you want maybe it only for your organization members or only the ones that are invited, you can select all of those different functions as well. Event categories, as I mentioned, you'll want to pick the ones that align best with your event, and then that way those will show up as people are looking through those categories. If you have RSVPs, or if you want people to RSVP, you can set that function here. And then perks, those are those ones that I mentioned before, so free food, maybe if that's part of your event, you'll want to click that. So then when you go to the next page, it will prompt you to add an image. So this is really important because that's what will show up on that home screen. So it really does help if you have some kind of image attached, or maybe a flyer for your event, kind of whatever you prefer. But we really highly recommend that you have some type of an image to upload for your event. And then you can't see it here, but there is one final screen to creating an event before you submit it for the approval. And that's just to click on one of the areas of the Husky Compact that align with your event. So just to make sure you do that before you submit it will be extremely helpful. And then, of course, for events, these will show up on the home page of HuskiesConnect, on the event page for HuskiesConnect. It will also be automatically fed into the student organization homepage, so that's really cool. Some really great exposure for your events on this site. So next, I will show you the news function. So this kind of serves as a blog per se, kind of a thing. If you click the blue button, Create Article, you to this really simple screen where you can put in information. So say you wanted to give an update about your organization, or you have a really awesome project that you guys are working on and you want to kind of showcase it. You can come in here, put a title. The summary is a short blurb about your article that you're going to write that will show up before someone clicks on your article. And then here you can add all the information that you wanted to. You do have the ability to add one photo to your news article. And then you have the ability to kind of tailor who you want to be able to view this article. So again, if you want to show it to everyone, maybe only the people that are able to log into St. Cloud State, or maybe just, it's specifically kind of an update for the members in your organization, you can select however you want that to be. But this is a really cool opportunity as well to kind of bring some attention to your organization. Some groups use this as a blog type of a functionality, or kind of just different ways to promote upcoming programs or events that you guys have. So something to keep in mind. And then the gallery is going to be really important and a really great way to kind of boost your profile and kind of add some, some really life to your organization and kind of showcase what you actually do. If you don't have any photos in your gallery, there will be no photos then attached to your profile. So highly recommend just creating an album, putting some photos up so that people can see like what your organization is about. Let me scroll really quick to our chat function and see if anyone's posted anything. Nope, we're good. Okay, so the next section is the documents function. So this is kind of serves as like a Google Drive or a Dropbox. So similar to those websites, this is a way for you to store organization documents. You can add folders, so just putting in a title, and then you're able to select who and what who you'd like to have access and what they'd be able to see within that folder, as well as adding files. It's the same thing, once you choose the file, you can add and give permission on who sees that document. When you register your organization each fall, your constitution and bylaws will be automatically uploaded to your document section. So you'll be able to see all of your constitution and bylaws from the beginning of when your organization started, which is really a great way to kind of keep track. And if you ever need to go back and look at what used to be, or if you need a previous copy of your constitution and bylaws, those are always stored here in your document section. Additionally, adding, we recommend to add meeting minutes or meeting agendas, or maybe event evaluations, because if you keep them in here, then they'll never get lost. And when your new officers take over for you after elections, they'll be able to access any of that without having, maybe getting locked out of a certain online Dropbox or losing the login information. You'll never be able to be locked out of your HuskiesConnect profile, because we'll always be able to reassign the access from the back end, the administrative side. So just keep that in mind. This is a really great place to kind of hosts and holds a lot of those documents, especially for officer transitions. And if you want to share the document, you can click on share and it automatically creates a link to that specific document. So this is a really great way to, like I said, kind of store these documents. And then maybe if you want to link someone to it, they'll be able to access it from there. And of course, you can download them at any time, so that way you have access to them. So that is the documents section. The next one is forms. So our forms section of HuskiesConnect functions much like SurveyMonkey or Google Forms or any of those survey tools that you might have used. It's a really easy way to create maybe polls within your organization, or if you have applications for, maybe a scholarship or attending something and you want people to apply for, this is a really awesome way to do that. So basically it just, you can see I will create a test form here so that you can see test. You can have the start and end time if there's a specific deadline you would like for your organization. And then of course, maybe if it's only for certain members within your organization, you can specify that. But if you click save and add questions, it will take you, oops, test 2. Save and add questions. We'll take you to the next screen where you will be able to add the questions for your form. So you can add text fields or check boxes if there's certain questions, adding different instructions, rankings, even uploading a file if you want them to add, a resume or something like that. This is a really this forms function can do so many different things for your organization. So just keep that in mind for upcoming events or programs or applications that you might have for your organization. It's free, and as I mentioned, there'll always be stored here in your attached to your HuskiesConnect profile, so that way you don't have to worry about, like I said, creating maybe a separate Google account for your organization and then passing along those passwords, keeping track of all of that. It's just all right here for you and your leaders. The next function is the elections function. So this is really great because this allows you to hold online elections. You just go on and create the election and kind of put in the information of maybe, you want to host your officer elections right online. You can do that, and people, can go in and click who they want to vote for, all within this system. So this is a really great tool for student officers, especially during that election time. And finally, service hours. So this is another function that we have for our student organizations. So students, if you have maybe this might not be applicable to all groups, but if you do have within your membership a requirement or a recommendation of doing service hours for your members, this can be a really great way to help them track that time that they do. So individuals can log in, go to the profile, and then add service hours. And essentially they'll just come in, click, put their name in, what type of volunteering or service that they did, how many hours, minutes, and then a verification. So if they were providing some volunteering within the St. Cloud community, they could go ahead and put that contact information in here. Or maybe they volunteered at a university program board event. They can put that contact information in as a way to kind of verify that they attended that. And then the administrator of the profile will be able to see, as you can see here, we have one that's pending. So they'll be able to go ahead and approve that and give the student credit for those hours that they did. This is really awesome way, as I mentioned, for organizations to keep track of how many hours maybe individuals have given, or as an organization, how many hours you've given as well. So that is the service hours function. I do want to mention then for individual users. So as student organization officers, And you click on, at the top right, you'll see your little image or your account information here. So this will give you kind of the ability to edit your experience here on HuskiesConnect. If you click membership history, this is where all of your memberships kind of are kept. So throughout your time at St. Cloud State, and any membership roster that you have been on HuskiesConnect or Collegiate Link will automatically show up in here. So this system is keeping track of your involvement experience all within this system without you having to do anything, which is really cool. Then, if you kind of visit and look through, you can see, when you were a member, if you were an advisor, from what time to what time. You can add reflections here, which is a really great way that if, say you learned, throughout your officer position, you learned how to work with a team and public speaking and all these kinds of things. This is a really great way to keep track of that experience and kind of keep record of it. That way, down the line when you're ready to graduate or you're ready to get an internship, you can reflect back on your involvement transcript here within HuskiesConnect and kind of remember and reflect on those experiences and what you learned. So that way when you're in the interview or in your internship, you're able to talk about those experiences without trying to remember all the details from those experiences that might have been 2, 3, 4 years ago. So this is a really awesome way to kind of keep all of those in one place. Additionally, event history, if you've attended events, checked into events, things like that, that'll all be tracked in here as well. So just a really cool way to kind of see, what events you've gone to, things that you're interested in. And then additionally, under your account here, experiences. So this is a really great function for you that is kind of maybe outside your formal membership period. So as I mentioned, if you were on a profile or on a roster for an organization as a member or an officer, those will automatically be synced with your account. If you attended maybe workshop or a training or really anything outside of organizations, this is where you can go in to add that experience. Or maybe you studied abroad. You can go ahead and log that experience so that way it shows up on your involvement transcript. And how you do that is under My Experiences, clicking Add Experience. It will prompt you to click on one of these different areas, so you can find whichever section in here applies best to your experience. So maybe it was a communication workshop. You can click Communication, and it'll give you the ability to add what that experience was. So you can put in Communication Workshop. And then you can add information specifically about that workshop, what you learned, what topics were covered, things that you want to take back and implement, really anything that you want about that experience. If it was attached to a specific organization, you can click on whatever organization hosted that event or that experience, or you can, just decide to leave it blank. And then you can add maybe the start date and the end date, how many hours it was, and then here's where you can add a personal reflection. So again, kind of adding information here about what you learned or what you took away from that experience. You can choose to add contact information as well. That way, when you're reflecting back, you can have access to that. Maybe you received a flyer or some helpful documentation. You can upload that here as well. And then that way you have access to that at a later time. So once you've completed all this information, you will click the Save button, and then that will automatically be tracked under your Experiences tab. So we really highly recommend this for students across the board, whether they're brand new to campus or have been here for a couple years. This is a great way to kind of, and a great place to start when you're tracking. All of your service hours that you've tracked through organizations can be found here as well under service hours. So that way you as well can see how many you've done within different organizations on campus. And then the involvement transcript. So all these things that I've been talking about, events, membership, experiences, service hours, are all automatically tracked to your involvement transcript. This is a customizable branded, St. Cloud State branded document that you can then use to supplement your resume and cover letter for maybe internships or jobs for the future. Currently right now, it's down from the national system. It's not working, so I can't show you that live, but feel free to keep checking that out. It's still working. It's still tracking your involvement. You just can't currently see it. So that should be up. We have a support ticket into the company, so hopefully they'll have that up shortly. But all of that is there and is available to you as students and faculty and staff. So I am going to go ahead and check to see if there were any questions. And as I mentioned, feel free to type any questions that you have into that chat function that you will see on the YouTube video. And I can go ahead and answer those live. Or as I mentioned, you know, we do have the department of campus involvement. Is located on the main level of Atwood Memorial Center near the fireplace. So you can come by, visit us if you do have any questions, or you would like to, you know, email or call us, whatever works for you, and we'd be more than happy to kind of talk you through some of these things, or maybe go over Huskies Connect a little bit more in depth. So that concludes the presentation tonight of the new Huskies Connect and kind of what it looks like and how it functions. We're really excited for, you know, this to be part of our campus and to really utilize it for students, both that students that are involved within our student organizations that are fabulously running our groups and, you know, leading our organizations in a really positive direction, and we're really excited to be here and support you in your role and to help you utilize the system to make life easier and more efficient for you and your group. But we're also really excited to show this to all of our students at St. Cloud State on how to get involved and how to learn about opportunities. So we really encourage, you know, our student organizations to keep their profiles updated and contact information that's updated, so that way when students are looking to get involved, they can contact you directly and we can help, you know, everyone gain more members and have a better, more positive experience. So again, my name is Sammy Bosacki. I'm the Assistant Director for Greek Life and Student Organizations. I have my contact information here, so, you know, feel free to reach out at any time if you do have questions or if you would like some additional training. We'd be happy to come and talk with you and show you more and even work with you to utilize the system and all the different functions that it has. So I'll hang out here for a few more minutes. If you do have questions, feel free to chat those in. Otherwise, thank you again for attending the training, and we have a great rest of the summer, and we look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks for the fall. Thanks again. Bye.